Hey, welcome back to PQF Academy and Happy New Year. Once again, Happy New Year. This year is going to be a big year for us. We are going to be doing some things. Hopefully you guys like it. Like I said, previous in the last video, we are going to be hosting, starting the week of the 6th. We are going to be having a video. I'm not sure if I'm going to do it live or it's going to be pre-recorded. I'm not sure yet. I'm going to try to make sure I keep it at least 15 to 20 minutes long, no matter which one it is, because I don't want you guys to get overloaded. And what it is if you want to start the business, start a handbag business from what you're learning, the bags you're learning to make. If you want to start a handbag business, I'm going to help you start this business from learning your pricing, learning your prices all the way up until, getting ready to sell. So that's what we're going to be doing here in 2025. Some other big things are coming up. So once again, Monday we're going to draft our pattern. Thursday, still going to be making the pattern. And just now, Wednesday, we'll be talking about business. Okay? All right. So I do want to say something about last week. So I went ahead and my swivels came in. So I went ahead and the last week's bag, I went ahead and put them on. All right, I put them on, so they're on now. They clip on. And so we actually got it. So you can actually put it on, as you can see, like this. Or if you want, you can take it off, put it inside the bag, and then hold it. Now, one thing I did miss, and I totally forgot to tell you guys what to do this portion of it, right? Is to make sure that you push your bag, push it all the way in, make sure that it's in and it's even, right? Because the next step you're going to do is when it comes to this seam that's right here on the outside, so this seam that's right here, you're going to take and sew all the way around that seam. Okay? Because if you're holding the bag right now, you're like, oh my gosh, it's so flimsy. It's due to the fact that probably because, maybe the fabric you use the interfacing you use is probably not a good interfacing for it, but most definitely it is because of this seam right here. So you want to go ahead and stitch those together. So that's what that's going to do. That's going to stitch the lining and the lining and the exterior component to each other. With this bag, I would also recommend, I know I didn't say this in the last video, but I would recommend that you use like a fleece, a heavier fleece, maybe like a mid-weight fleece. For this one, okay? But yeah, that's one thing I forgot to tell you guys to do inside of this one. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and put this off to the side. Our pattern last week, as you know, we made it. It is not last week. Our pattern on Monday, it was I called it like a hobo curve bag. I'm not really sure what it's really called, but that's what I'm gonna call it. I'm called a curved hobo bag. So I went ahead so far and cut out all my patterns, cut out all my pieces for the fabric I'm going to use. I'm going to use a canvas. And I do have this interfaced on the other side too, right? So it's going to give it a little bit more of a body to it. So that's why I'm using that. Now, if you don't want to use a canvas, and you want to use, like, say, for instance, another, like a cotton material, I would say use fleece for it. It's going to give the bag a little bit more sturdy, a little bit more weight to it. And you'll kind of see what I'm talking about if you do make this bag. So that's why I went ahead and put on a light woven interfacing on my, this is the top lining piece. What is it called? The top piece, I guess. I call it the top piece. I went ahead and cut out my straps and already folded them. The only thing I didn't do so far is, sew down. Remember, when we're doing anything like this, when we're folding them, remember the folds it's you fold in the middle, you find the middle, then you put this onto the middle, put that onto the middle, and then fold that in again. And then when you sew them, you're going to sew straight down. If you like, you can come across and go straight up and then go back across again, okay? So this is my strap piece. This is my closure piece that we made. Now with this, you are going to take a little bit off. I am probably going to do about, when we get there, I'm probably going to do about a 3-inch, maybe 4, maybe, in order for the closure to work. Also, it's the same thing. This is going to be our holder, our connector holders. This is what's going to hold, this is what's going to hold our D-rings, right? So we're going to do this, but what you're going to do, it's not going to be this big, okay? So what you're going to do, you are going to, once you have this sewed up, you are going to go ahead and cut this in half. I will show you that. I will show you guys that so you won't get confused. All right. I have my lining piece. I mean, not my lining, sorry. My exterior piece. Now, I'm not going to do anything super fancy as far as put any zippers, any pockets, or any of that in this bag. Because it's more, to me, for me, honestly, it's going to be more of it's a tester bag for me. Some of the bags that I'm making are tester bags. This is why some of the bags that I make, I don't really put anything in it, because I want to see how the market's going to go for it, all right? So with this bag, you can put a zipper on the outside, an outside zipper, if you like. And talking about the market, that's something that's going to be taught also. I'm going to teach you also on how to, put things out there just to test the market, see how it is, all right? So, and I also have my bottom lining piece. Okay. Now, what this is when the top piece, this top piece right here would go onto this. We've done this before, where the top piece will go onto this, fold it up and everything. And also, if you like, you can still, once you have that on, you can also still put a zipper here. You can still put it like a zipper pocket, like, close to here if you like, right around there. Or you can put a slip pocket in. You can put as many pockets in this bag as you like. Okay? And like I said, I'm not going to be showing you guys that, because I'm not going to be doing that, because like I said, this is a tester bag to see how the market goes. All right. Now, what I have also, I do have 2 D-rings. And I have my closure piece that I'm going to be using. Okay? This is what's gonna close my bag up. All right. So as we got that, so we're gonna go ahead and let's get started. All right. So I got my all my straps. They're all sewed up. Now I'm just gonna go ahead and take my lining. We're gonna start here, and I'm gonna put this down, and I'm gonna go ahead and put this down. Now, like I said, I always tell people, whatever stitch whatever what do you call it? Whatever stitch length you want to go ahead and do, just go ahead. So if you want to do 3/8 or 1/2 inch, go ahead and sew that across. And then once you get done, you're going to flip this up, and then you're going to top stitch that. Now, if you want, matter of fact, I'm going to show you something. Let me go ahead and sew this real quick, and I'm going to come back and I'll show you something. Okay, I do remember saying something about this to you before. If you hear the little pitter patters, that's my dog. I do remember saying something about this to you before. Depending on what you want to show when it comes down to the lining piece, when you top stitch. So if I want my top of my lining to take precedence, meaning that this is what people see it, this is what's going to overwhelm, is this right here. But if I don't want that, I would take and I would do it this way, to where I would fold that piece under, that seam under, and I would top stitch right across there. Okay, so do you see what I'm talking about? So it's under right now, and this is my lining. The bottom, the red, is going to take precedence over the top. That's the black part, okay? So now if I have it up, it's the opposite way around. So depending on how you want to do it, you can do it when it comes down to the top stitching part of it. That's how you can do it either way. I just wanted to show you guys that, just in case some of you guys may have forgot. Me personally, I always like to tuck mine under, because I always want the bottom to take precedence. There's not really any, if there is a purpose to it, I don't know it. And I'm not going to sit up here and pretend like I do know it. What's the purpose of it? But hey, at the end of the day, that's the way I'm going to do it, and that's how I like it. All right? So go ahead and I'll be back. So go ahead and top stitch it the way you like it, and we'll be back. Okay, so we have it top stitched. Now, this is a part where if you want to go ahead and put a zipper here, a zipper pocket here, or a slip pocket right here also, that will be the time you'll go ahead and do that. Also, with the outside of the bag, it will be the exact same thing. If you want to put a zipper pocket on the outside, it will be the time to go ahead and do that, okay? Now, what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and sew all this up right now. I know you're probably like, wait, we didn't do anything else, da-da-da-da, blah, blah, blah. But no, you're going to go ahead and sew this up. So we want to sew up our exterior piece. And we're going to do the same thing with our lining. Remember, we have two ways of turning this bag, right? We can turn it as far as us, what do you call it? Turn it out, sorry. We can birth the bag. So remember, we can either the inches here, the 6 inches here, or the 6 inches on the side, okay? Completely up to you how you want to do it. There is another way that we are gonna learn how to turn these bags also, but that's probably gonna be in a little bit of a later video. So go ahead and sew these all together, all right? Remember, we're gonna always leave a 6 inch here or 6 inch here. Completely up to you how you decide you want to turn the bag, all right? Okay, so we have everything sewed up, right? Sewn up. Now, what I want us to do, I want you to take your connector strap, right? I want you to take, like I had said, I think I'm going to cut about, I'm going to do about maybe about 3 inches. I'm going to do 3 inches, all right? So I'm going to cut 3 inches. Cut 3 inches off of this. So 3 inches have been cut. I'm gonna grab my D-ring piece. I'm gonna put it through. Now I'm gonna go over to the sewing machine. I'm going to now see where I messed up at. My D-ring's a lot smaller than expected. I must have grabbed the wrong combination, but that's 100% okay, all right? For demonstration purposes, all right? This is going to be okay, but when you're doing this, make sure you grab 1.5 inches. Your D-ring should be 1.5 inches, okay? Even the swivel clip portion of it, so it looks like this is going to be small also, but that's fine. For this point, it's okay, all right? So, what I'm going to do is, let me use the O-rings actually real quick, so it's a little bit, because they're 1.5 inches, right? So, I'm gonna take and put this on like this, and I'm gonna go ahead and sew right across there. All right, I'm gonna sew right across there, and then what I'm gonna do, I'm going to fold this in, and then I'm gonna sew right across there too. So it's gonna look like this when it's done. All right, when I'm done with it, it's going to look like this. Okay. All right, so I got my D-ring together. Off screen, my other one, that little one, was just too, it wasn't cooperating with me, so I went ahead and switched my D-ring and my swivel. All right, so we're also going to go ahead and take our swivel, and we're going to fold that back, and we're going to sew right across there. Now, if you want, you can go ahead and put it down just about 1 inch, so it gives you some room a little bit. Because remember, we're going to place our presser foot right along on here. All right. Also, right here, as you can see, it kind of gives it 2 lines right there. It gives it 2 lines right there. So, and then we're going to, we'll get to that, but I'm thinking ahead of myself. So, so go ahead and do that with this also. All right. I'll be right back. Okay, so I got I have my my exterior piece, right? So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna fold it in half to find the middle. You're probably like, why didn't you do this when it wasn't together? The reason why is because one of those things is I want to show you guys something. Say, for instance, if you don't know all of the measurements right away. So I don't know how far I'm going to have this down or how far it shouldn't be, how far it should be down. That's why I'm doing it this way. So I'm going to show you all of that also. You'll see what I'm talking about in a minute. All right. So I have the middle, right? I'm asking myself, do I want to put this right here? Would it be feasible for me to put that there? Put this right here. So what I'm going to do, 1 second, let me go ahead and get off camera real quick. All right, I'm back. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take and pin this right here. All right. I'm going to take and pin this right here. Now what I'm also going to do, I'm going to take my swivel clip, my clip, and I'm going to put it right there, all right? Then I'm going to pull this back here, and then I'm going to fold that up, and it, does that look good to me? Does that look good? All right, does that look good? It looks good to me. I like it. I like the placement of it. I like where it's at. All right? That's up to you. Do you like where it's at? Do you like the feel of how it is? Do you like where it's at? Do you like the feel to where if I close the bag, you know, it's like that. But then if I open it, you know, I can open it pretty well, pretty decent. Right? So now what you'll do, since you're like, okay, I like this placement, right? I like the placement, right? So I'll go ahead and take my measurements right here. So this is 3 inches from the bottom, 3 inches from the bottom. Me, I like doing the bottom and not the top. And this is 6 inches from the top. All right. So that's why I did it this way. So you can see. So if you decide that you want to adjust it, if you want it to where, say if you close the bag and you kind of want this part to open up more, like say for instance, if I have stuff in it. Matter of fact, hold on. Here's one way to see if you like the placement of this. Go ahead and take some paper or something and go ahead and stuff that on the inside. All right, let's go ahead and see how this looks if it's filled. You know what I mean? Maybe you may not like that there, right? So I have this. Now I go to close it. Do I still like the placement of it? No, actually I don't no more. I don't like the placement of that because it's too tight on the back. So I'm going to keep this here, locked like that. Keep that locked. So maybe it needs to go right about there for me. All right, that's where maybe it needs to go. And I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put it right about there. So you can put paper into it and paper will kind of tell you also how you know, if you like the placement of that also. So that's one thing you can do. I'm glad I did put the paper into it and didn't go ahead and close it up. But all right, so go ahead and do that. And so once you find your placement and everything, you're going to go ahead and sew. Now, one thing I do suggest is that when you sew, I suggest that you sew a triangle. Right? Do a nice little triangle. If you like, you can do the, I don't know, if matter of fact, I'll show you how to do it if you don't have to know how to do it, because I'm going to show you how to do this when everything is basically put together also. So you do a triangle, and then you're going to do the X. All right? So I'm going to go ahead and show you that also. So let's go ahead and get this pen. So I'll know where I'm going to keep it and have it. So, all right, and I will see you at the sewing machine. All right, so let me go ahead and adjust that. All right, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and take this off. If your sewing machine does that, that's awesome. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and just put this on here. And then what I'm going to do, I'm also going to find out where this is at, because I don't want to do it right here. I don't want to sew here. I want to basically sew right along where that's at. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and go off camera and do this portion of it because it's hard for me to navigate doing this while on camera because I'm looking down into the camera. And I'll be right back. And all I'm going to do is just do the box real quick, right? I'm going to do the box and I'm going to then show you guys how to also do the X, all right? So I'm going to show you how to do the X, but the box I'm not going to really show, okay? So I'm trying to see if I can do it this way. Whoops, that kind of scared me. I thought it was going to fall back. Now, so as you can see, when you go to turn it, since this is on the inside and you can't turn it, what you're going to have to do, you are going to have to lift this up out of here and then actually turn it yourself. All right. It should stay in place now because of it's already sewed down already. And then we're just going to go ahead and do it again and just sew. Now, I can tell you one nice, easy way to do this without the hassle of the what you call it? The hassle of the needle. There we go. Without being scared like, oh my gosh, my needle is moving, meaning the pin needle. You can take and do some stitch witchery or you know, double-sided fabric tape also. So back stitch, find that corner, and then what I'm gonna do is just go ahead and turn it and go corner to corner. I'm at that corner. Make sure none of this on the outside, nothing gets tangled up on the under that. Go back up here, find the corner. Turn it. And back stitch, and then go ahead, you're done. Now you go ahead and do that to the beginning part. Go ahead and make sure you cut your threads, and then you do that to the front piece. All right, I'll be right back. All right, as you go ahead and see, we got it on now. See, I wish I would have did some stitch witchery or double-sided tape because mine did move and shift over a little bit, but it's a lesson learned. Next time I'm going to do, you know, put some double-sided sticky tape or stitch witchery on the bottom of this instead of trying to use pins. That's me personally. That's why I don't use pins. I use every other things except for pins because I don't like the way having to sew around them and things of that nature. Okay, so what we're going to go ahead and do is go ahead and grab our strap piece. Fold it in half. Make sure it doesn't have that wrinkled on the inside of it. And then we're just going to cut this. All right, going to cut that right in half. I had to cut it off camera because I forgot my scissors. All right, so go ahead and put your D-rings on. Now, you have two choices here if you like. You can go ahead and sew this right across. You can go ahead and sew right across if you want, completely up to you. Or you can just go ahead and pin it, find the middle and go ahead and just pin it on here just like this. Without this, with this, that means that this will be loose and it'll be a lot easier for everything to turn and things of that nature. So you can go ahead and do it that way. Find the middle. Me, I'm going to do it this way. I don't need the boxes and stuff like that. But if you want to, the element sometimes of stitching, some of you guys should already know this, sometimes it actually puts also a decorative piece onto the bag. So it can be a decorative piece to where if you decided that you wanted to go across here and then do the box technique, completely up to you. But I'm going to go ahead, do that here. I don't have a pin, so I'll put my pin in. And then guess what? Guess what it's time for me to do? Is go ahead and stuff this on the inside. So once I have this pinned on, matter of fact, I'll use a regular pin since they're right here. Where's my other piece on? Found the middle. I'm gonna make sure that this is open, the class is open. And then as usual, go ahead and do everything that you normally would do. Put this into the bag, line the corners up. Line the corners up, stitch it up. Stitch it up and everything, and then pull it on the outside, all right? All right, and let's go ahead and do that. I think I want to show you guys this part, all right? So when you get to this corner, remember you have to see right there. That's perfect for me. So we're gonna pick that up, and we're gonna pivot. All right. I just want to show you guys that just in case you may have forgot, and you're like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, I can't do it. How do I do it? Remember, I want to pick it up, and I'm going to pivot. All right. As you're sewing across that layer is very, very thick. All right. That portion right there. So once again, we're gonna come here. All right, and then we're going to lift up. Make sure our needle's down on the inside. We're gonna pick it up, and we're gonna pivot. See, it's over. It's too much. That's not close enough. So I'm gonna bring that out just a little bit more. Nah, still the same. Pulling that down. That should get me right about there. That, to me, that's pretty good right there. So, all right, then I'm gonna go ahead and sew down the rest of the way. All right, and just follow the curve and everything of that nature. All right, I just wanted to show you that corner piece, that corner part. All right. Okay, so before I go ahead and turn this out, I'm gonna go ahead and clip my corners. Clip the corner. All right, don't mind that mess over there. Clip the corners. And then also take some of the bulk out, even here, even around this part. Now, when I get to this portion, when I get to here, I'm not going to clip, sometimes it's 3/8. I'm going to clip as close as I possibly can. But then I'm also going to snip. I'm going to snip around you can't even see that, sorry. I'm going to snip around the curve. All right, so I'm going to take some of the bulk out, and then I'm going to snip around the curve. I'll be right back, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. All right, so I'm just going to go ahead and just make some snips. You're going to be cutting through, a few layers. So I'm going to make snips all the way around. All right, so you're going to do this around this, all the way up until here. And then you're going to do the same thing right around the other side, all right? And then you're just going to go ahead and pull the bag out, and then I will meet you back. Nope, actually, I forgot. We still have to put the strap on. The strap is actually going to be kind of easy. We'll do the exact same thing, but hey, I'll show you how to do that also. Okay, so we went ahead and we turned it out. So make sure your corners are poked out. Make sure everything is good. Take this over to the ironing board. Let me go ahead and zoom out just a little bit so you can see a little bit better. Take this over to the ironing board, iron it. Okay. Iron this right here, and then go ahead and top stitch right around all of that, all right? Top stitch all of that around, okay? I'm not going to do it because like I said, I like to show you guys how to do these things, how to make the bag. I want you guys to go ahead and top stitch it and stuff, all right? So once you have that top stitch, then what we're going to do, you're going to put I say about a 1/2 inch probably. Let's see. About a 1/2 inch. No, it's actually about 1 inch. So what we're going to do, you're going to fold over about 1 inch. Put that there. And then just go ahead and sew right along across there. Now, make sure when you do this, this is on the inside, okay? This is on the inside of it. Now, if you want to, you can also flip it over again, but that's going to take about a 1/2 inch. So you can actually hide if you're, say for instance, if your edges are horrible, you can flip that over, give it about that takes it about them in an inch and a half or an inch and what, about, say an inch and a quarter maybe. And then go ahead and sew right across there. And do the same thing on the other side, but make sure it's turned on the inside so it's basically look like this. You don't see this on the back. And then go ahead and do that, and I will meet you back over here and then we'll be all done. Next time we'll be face to face. Okay, as you can see, we are all done now. Like I said, this pattern, you can do multiple things with it. Make it big, as long as you just, make it longer or whatever you decide you want to do with it. So many things can happen. So here's our bag. Like I said, that mine did shift. I'm not gonna lie to you, my what do you call it? This right here shift a little bit. It shifted a little bit on me. Also, I said I wasn't going to do the top stitching. I was gonna leave that up for you guys. I top stitched mine because I didn't like the way that it was laying. Even for the demonstration, I didn't like it. So I went ahead and top stitched it. Now, if you want, as you can see how this is hanging sometimes, like even with certain things, you can realize, okay, maybe next time I can pull it back a little bit if I want it to be like that, or do I just want it to hang just a little bit like that also. When you're putting it on, it gives you enough room, okay, enough room, I guess, to, if I'm going to dig around into it also. Same thing, it's almost the same thing with, like I was with the slouch hobo bag that we did, the other one also. Like I said, I'm calling this one a curve hobo bag. Don't really know if this is really a hobo bag, but I've always called this a curve hobo bag. But yeah, once again, remember, if you're going to do anything as far as like mine doesn't have any pockets or anything, but this would be a perfect bag to where, if I put on the back of this, put a pocket, like a little inside pocket right here. If I wanted to put another inside pocket or a slot pocket, this could be, like I said, for your phone. You can easily put your phone in there, get your phone real easy. So if I'm here, if I got my bag on, and I want to dig here, or so I want to dig here by slot pocket, completely up to you. But yep, that's today's video. If you like today's video, like, subscribe, and share. Once again, if you have made any bags, please send them to me at pqffashion.com. Sorry, not that. pqffashion@gmail.com. I would love to showcase them. I would love to see them. But send them to me again if you made any one of the, I think we're on 8 bags or 10 bags that we've made so far. Just let me see them. I would love to see them. Love to showcase them. Shout you out also at the same time if you want to be shouted out. That's completely up to you if you don't. But I do want to showcase your bags. All right. As always, thank you for tuning in to PQF Academy.